5-point ride as we fly high over our 4 competitors in the water. This is the round of 16. What's at stake? A spot in the quarterfinals, Peter.
Quarterfinals, finals, it's where you want to be. Taking a look, though, how is all the action that's been happening back and forth? Overlapping format is just mind-boggling. There's been wave after wave. I made the mention that, yeah, there's not enough waves. Heck no. Chopo said otherwise. It has been non-stop action for the last 20 minutes, and I love it.
So opener for Conor O'Leary, a 5.67. Let's hear from Matty McGillivray with a historic moment here in Tahiti. He's on the boat.
Matty, we all know you're an adrenaline junkie, but how does a 10-point ride at Teahupo'o compare to jumping off a giant cliff?
It's very similar, actually. You can feel the nerves before I was going to paddle out. Or like watching this morning, I was definitely feeling the adrenaline. And yeah, it's crazy to get conditions like this for the contest, and such a dream come true just to be able to surf these waves with one other person out and to have priority when a set wave comes. But it definitely gets your nerves. You have to really like just zone in and kind of be in the moment. And I'm just so happy with the way that worked out. It was awesome to surf against Sammy, and Barron in the previous heat as well was absolutely charging. So it's good to see everyone pushing it out there today.
And you're just going from strength to strength. Every hit you seem to find a bigger, better wave. And what have you got next? Quarterfinals tomorrow.
I'm so happy to be in the quarters. It was kind of my goal for this event. I just wanted to come here and gain experience at Teahupo'o because I've never surfed it big before. So yeah, I'm really happy just to be able to get a few waves. I wanted to get a nice photo to take home, and hopefully tomorrow we get some nice conditions still, and we can finish on a high note for the finals day. But I'm super stoked already.
And you're going to come up against Cowley, so you know the ocean's probably going to provide. What's it going to take to beat him?
I think it's just about positioning and wave selection, and I mean, if you get the right wave, you're going to win the heat. So I'll try to be patient and not get too excited, and hopefully put myself in the right spot for a few bombs.
Sounds like a good plan. Good luck.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Matt McGillivray continues to exceed expectations, especially when he's coming to new venues on the championship tour. Griffin Colapinto pulls into a pit, high line for the exit, and he gets clamped, unable to come out of that barrel. Colapinto with the lead over Yago Dora right now, and it's an ultra important heat for Griffin Colapinto.
Yeah, he's starting this round out before Kanoa Igarashi, who is also in this round, so it's a must-make heat for him. I guess if unless Kanoa.
Well, let me quantify it. If Griffin wins this heat, he makes the final 5. If Griffin loses this heat, Italo will be confirmed and clinch a final 5 spot. If Griffin loses this heat and Kanoa wins his heat, Kanoa makes the final 5. So those are the 3 different scenarios. Those are the scenarios that can play out in these next 15 minutes for Griffin Colapinto.
Another interesting fact here is that Italo also, right, as I understand it, if Griffin gets through this one, he actually passes Italo, which pushes Italo into that borderline spot. So those are the things that are happening here. It's just insane that we're doing it in perfect Chopo. What could you ask for? Exactly this.
This is it. We talked about Champagne Hour here at Teahupo'o. Te, the, ahu, altar, po'o, skulls. An intimidating name, an intimidating wave, and it's something that, you know, and even with the pronunciation of the break, we're embracing, you know, Tahitian and our indigenous culture over here, as well as the language. So I welcome this, and it's been turning on.
It sure has. It's been really cool to see, and even the facets have happened throughout the day, because there wasn't perfect all points of the day, but right now it is just on fire, and we hope that, fingers crossed, we can finish this round in these types of conditions. We've got great conditions on offer. Surfline has forecast good winds for tomorrow. And if we can get through, we did the overlapping heats, which is to get us to finals day for tomorrow, which is just incredible if we can be able to do all that in such a short period of time.
And you brought this up probably about an hour and a half ago, Peter, when you said, you know what, I've been told by Raymana van Bosselier in that right about the 2-3 o'clock hour, oftentimes that's when this break turns on. And That's scheduled. It has.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's the bomb of the day comes, and that was kind of right then when we saw Matthew McGillivray. But at the same time, there was 6 or 7 waves that were amazing. We saw Griffin's 9 right there at the same time, and now all of a sudden there's a breather happening. And Kelly, a little bit behind right now. He's in that non-priority heat with Connor O'Leary picking up a little piece of that 5.67. So this, I mean, it's action. There's a lot on the line. Obviously for Griffin right now, he's got to get through this one. You know, just to keep his final 5 bid alive.
Yeah, Kelly Slater was here, and he was mentioning, Peter, that, you know, that there was a gust of wind that came in through, and with a squall. And he said, you know, that gust of wind was kind of signaling the change in the wind. And he's so well read out here. He, like yourself, has made just multiple trips over here to the end of the road. So really getting tuned into the personalities and what's happening nature-wise here.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's the way you do it. Get experience, come here and surf, you know, and even not just surfing Teahupo'o, which obviously is the most important thing, but I mean, just going out and enjoying the culture, finding out where those comforts are, where your favorite restaurants are, and getting in tune, like you said, tapping into the nature here.
Let's go out to Strider Wazalewski out in the water. I think he had a word with Kelly Slater before his heat. Strider.
I did. He was asking what happened with Matthew's wave, because he said he saw him drop into the wave and he looked away. He thought he curled. He thought it was over. He thought he ate it. And I said, well, he didn't, and he pulled it and he got a 10, and he was just like, what? He was so elated and excited, and like he just went into like froth mode. And you know, just great to see the goat just still turned up by performances from other people, and see those levels being risen, and how it just got him so excited. I mean, obviously he was excited to come and surf perfect Teahupo'o, but for him to see a wave like that, I think the guy just didn't make it, and then he finds out he made it, and it just turned his whole level up, and now he's just out the back just losing it. Actually, he was so frothed out paddling into the lineup with us that he was just kind of like trying to calm himself down. You could see it, and he actually did. He stopped, he took a breath, and he slowed his whole moment down, because he's just coming out of his skin out the back.
Yeah, Kelly Slater, I mean, when he hears a 10, he wants to show us that he's got one too. And when we look at the history of Kelly Slater, not only has he scored 10s here at Teahupo'o, he's actually had perfect heats here, where he's had 2 10-point rides in the heat. He did that first in 2005 against Damian Hobgood in the final out here, and then he did it again in 2016, if you remember, Peter, against Keanu Asing. 2 10-point rides for that perfect heat. Perfect heats of all time, very rare, and Kelly Slater actually has 2 of them to his credit out here at the end of the road.
Well, I'd have to say that Kelly probably, after knowing that 10 just happened, that he's probably going to go out there and try and get 2 of them.
In the barrel, coming through, Yago Dora answering back to Griffin Colapinto. Yago needing a 7.34 in the priority heat against Griffin Colapinto, who has the lead right now. Did a good job of getting in the barrel, good job of exiting the barrel. Your thoughts on that ride? And
the fact that he was able to have great speed control on the forehand. That's not easy to do. We saw Kyle Voss do that, where he was able to use both hands to stall. It's not easy on the forehand. It's easier to get more speed, but it's a lot harder to slow things down. Did a great job of holding onto the wall there. Good positioning on the takeoff. Just deep enough, but again, I could see the tip of his nose, but he gave himself the best opportunity for the longest part in the barrel. See, again, look, 2 hands up against the wall. He's just digging those fingers in there, slowing himself down to maximize the amount of time inside the barrel. I would have to say that it's probably in the score line that, you know, conceivably could help him out. Oh, it's going to go into his top 2 for sure. Sammy Pupo went out here and had an excellent heat. 16.43 two-wave total. That's an excellent heat. But Matthew McGillivray with that 10-point ride took the heat. But Sammy Pupo's got to be proud with his performance out here in Tahiti. And Sammy is with Dimity.
Sammy, what a crazy finish to your season. You know, it's hard to come back after your competitor scores a perfect 10-point ride. But you fought till the death, still finished with a crazy total, 16.43.
Yeah, I mean, after he got the 10, I was like, there's still a chance. You know, he had a 10 and a 4. I was like, oh, I got to keep trying. I think I needed an 8.4, and then next wave I got my 8.9, but he got another one. So if it wasn't for his other score, then I would have made it. So I'm happy that I fought to the end, and it could have gone my way.
Well, we've had so much fun watching you this year as a rookie. You've put on some crazy performances, and we look forward to seeing you next year. What's plans you're going to work on in the off-season?
Yeah, I'm so happy with this season. I hope next season I just want to train a lot before everything starts. I feel like this year I probably gave like 50% of my, everything to surfing, just training everything. So 50% I've end up pretty nice in the ranking. So next year I want to train a lot and give 100% to have a shot at the title.
Well done. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Sammy Pupo, I mean, a brilliant freshman year on the championship tour. So when he comes back for his sophomore year, Peter, I'm expecting big things because he's got that brand of exciting surfing, not just as a progressive surfer, but he's proved this year that he can charge.
Oh, for sure. And, those are the questions that have probably been asked of him, and he definitely delivered. I would say the two events that you would have question marks at for Sammy Pupo, no experience, he delivered in a big way. So I think he can build from that. You talk about what he's did in Brazil, pipeline here, a lot to build on, and especially you say, 50% to focus on it. Wow, I mean, if he gives 75, what does that mean?
Yeah, he made a final over there in Rio, and making a final in your rookie year, that shows that you have a bright future. Well, we were waiting for a score for Yago Doro. It came through as a 5.1. Yago still trailing Griffin Colapinto. Colapinto in the priority heat with priority. Colapinto with a 5 and that valuable 9-point ride. Again, we said this is an ultra important heat for Griffin Colapinto. He comes through this heat and he's clinched his spot in the final 5.
That's it. Well, I would say he clinched it, right? Because Kanoa's still there as well. Oh, he would clinch it because he overpasses the top. I gotcha. That's right. He passes Felipe or Italo, so that is right. This is huge. Huge for Griffin.
Yes. I mean, this is the make or break moment for Griffin Colapinto.
I mean, it's interesting because if, in his mind, he was probably thinking, okay, I just got to stay over the top of Kanoa, match Kanoa. But with the loss from Italo, Jadson has given him the opportunity to clinch his spot right here and now.
Let's take a look at the 9-point ride, Griffin Colapinto.
Look at that. He just pumped his way through it from behind it with a ton of speed. Judges have been pretty clear that if you're deep and you're able to move through that barrel up above the foam ball, that's technical tube riding and carrying a speed. Speed, power, and flow, part of the criteria. He was flying through that one. And that's why you see it's such a significant difference to say a lot of the surfers who have been stalling for the barrel. Yeah, speed control is part of it, but you want to have that ability to be going fast through a big barrel. That is more appealing to the judges.
Beautiful conditions, and here we go. Dora, couple of pumps off the bottom, got to get into the speed stance to come through this section, gets spit out. Yago Dora, again, looking for a 7.34, looks at the judges' tower and says, give me the number.
A whole lot different from the wave just previous. Yeah, he had long barrel time, but that one, he drove through it. Big open barrel, much better score. Going to be the best number for Yago Dora.
Big question is it a 7.34? Your initial thoughts?
You always like to put me on the spot here. Let's just let it play out, but I think it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, no, just your initial thoughts on,
I think it's close. I mean, because size of the wave, again, we got to see it with the front on. This is the judge's angle. And again, he is similar to where we saw Griffin Colapinto drive through the barrel, carried a ton of speed. And watching it again, he did everything perfect. He slowed himself down, was on, trailing the foam ball there, so it's nice and deep. And then a bunch of speed as he carries through it. Definitely going to make this one a very interesting heat.
Well, this should tighten things up, and I love this angle. As you can see, the gallery of the front row here. A unique feature of this venue, a unique feature of this stop is the gallery in the channel.
It is. The intimacy of it all. You got the coaches, the fans, the CEO, Strider, and they're all right there, checking it all out. It's really, really neat. I mean, the surfers can hear right there.
And they can hear the whistles, the warning of a set coming as well, right, Pete?
That's so true, and sometimes you hear it when you're free surfing, you're like, are they just wanting you to go for the sake of entertainment? Which I think is part of it.
Okay.
There it is.
Numbers coming through, and it looks like he did enough already. There we go, 8.27. Yago Dora takes the lead with 4 minutes remaining in his matchup against Griffin Colapinto. Colapinto now Not quite up against the ropes. Colapinto just needs a 5.94. Colapinto with priority, 3 minutes and 45 seconds ticking down on the clock.
Right now, he's doing everything he can just in his mind to quiet it down and just go, please send the opportunity. Just the opportunity. Again, only needs a 5.94. Not a massive number.
But needs to complete the wave, correct?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, an incomplete wave ain't going to do it.
And this is when the mind game starts. Under priority, Yago is happy to take this one deep on the reef, pulls high, tight, weaves through that barrel, no problem for Doro. It kicks out on the channel. We'll see if that improves on his 2-wave total.
Well, that was smart of Griffin. Don't think that that had the potential to turn the heat for him. Happy to let Yago go. Because ultimately he takes that wave, he gives priority to Yago, doesn't get the score.
So again, ultra important heat for Griffin Colapinto. If he wins this heat, he's part of that final 5 and he will take part in the Rip Curl WSL Finals. If Griffin loses this heat, Italo will be confirmed in that final 5 situation. If Griffin loses this heat also, he's going to give an opportunity to Kanoa Igarashi. If Kanoa wins his round of 16 heats, Kanoa will take Griffin's place in that final 5.
And of course, Kanoa in this round is up against Jadson Andre, which is not an easy task. Jadson's been on point today. He already took down Italo, so a bit of a payback would help out, wouldn't it? You know, if he's going to do it and pay it back, this is a way to do it, is to take down Kanoa. But Kanoa, very confident. So much going on today. I mean, just incredible. And then you throw in the added element of this place, Teahupo'o, and what this wave is. And man, it's just been an incredible day.
All right, it's a 2-minute drill now for Griffin Colapinto. He's got to keep that heart rate down, keep focused on the horizon. You can see him standing up on his board, trying to get a little bit of elevation to see if there's any waves coming through. Right now, he's leaving it up to the ocean, and he has no other choice just to sit this out. He's not going to budge unless he sees a wave that is going to offer him an opportunity, basically, to get a 6-point ride.
Looks pretty quiet out there, Kaipo.
Oh, this is not the way Griffin wants to potentially end his year. It's not all lost. If he doesn't make this heat, Kanoa still needs to advance out of his round of 16 heat. So it's not all lost for Griffin Colapinto, but he wants to clinch that spot. So Kanoa will come up a little bit later in this round of 16 against Jadson Andre, who's already posted some big numbers. A 2-wave heat total in his last showing, 17 points. Okay, we're down to 40 seconds. It's go time for Colapinto. Not seeing much on the horizon and not much he can do with no opportunity. 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing about heat surfing, is that it does come to an end. And you have to be out front when it happens. Unfortunately, right now, Griffin may see something here. He's got to go.
Here we go. This is what it comes down to. Right now, Griffin Colapinto with the opportunity. High line, grabs the rail in the barrel, comes out, points to the sky, just needs a 6-point ride. Griffin Colapinto, could this be a buzzer beater?
Wow, that is incredible. He did. It didn't look like there was anything there. All of a sudden it was. He did everything right. Flew through the barrel. Wasn't a big wave, but all he needed was a 5.94. It's up to the judges. I feel like it's right there.
Wow, this is what competition is all about. This is the make or break moments. Griffin Colapinto answering the call. The wave miraculously showed up. Here's a replay of it, Peter.
Take a look. You know, it isn't the biggest wave, but look how deep he is and how fast he goes through this barrel. Nicely done. All he wanted was the opportunity. All he wanted was a chance. And he got it. And he executes this wave perfectly, nice and deep and fast through that tube. Lots of comparisons.
594. One more time, this time from the water to enjoy this. And now in slow motion, the technique, pulling up on the rail, getting low, High line through the barrel.
He used that style earlier to get himself inside the barrel. Gets nice and compact.
Comes out, points to the sky, saying, come on, give me the number. No indication as of yet from our judges.
Yeah, they're doing some comparisons here. I mean, a good one to look at is the 6.67 of Yago Dora. And he waits for his fate. This is the... just incredible. I know everyone, family at home waiting, all his friends.
Oh, he wants lowers. He wants a chance to surf his home break for a world title. It comes down to one wave. Here's a 6.67 for Yago Dora as a comparison, Pete.
Ooh, yeah, the much bigger wave. I will say that. Pretty similar as far as barrel time.
But remember, he needs just a 5.94.
So he doesn't need it to be as good. Those are exactly what the judges are doing, is looking at comparisons right now. Yago's got his glasses and hat. He's pretty confident.
Scores coming through.
Ooh.
Oh no, and it looks like it will come under for Griffin Colapinto. One more judge to make it official.
He's got to go over and start waxing Jadson's board.
Yeah, that's going to be it. I mean, we still got one more judge, but we can figure out the average right there. It's not going to be a 5.94. There it is, a 5.63. Not enough for Griffin Colapinto, out of competition, but congratulations to Italo Ferreira, as Italo Ferreira has clinched his spot in the final 5, and we will see him at the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Here comes a world champ, Italo. What can't this guy do?
That was pretty amazing.
That is when Italo starts to thrive.
He's going to his secret weapon, full rotation.
Good grief, that poor wave.
Hey, Italo, you're going to the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Who is your favorite surfer?
Slater!
Kelly Slater.
Kelly's results go all the way back to 1992.
So tap. Yeah, the flag came out. It's the one with the flag.
Simba!
I don't want to get too much photo.
Yes, that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing. Yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring. It's that time again. Don't want to win, I'm cutting you off, cause it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing, yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring, it's that time again.
The beach goes absolutely wild. The scene has erupted at lower trestles.
Looking back to this Outerknown flashback 2014, where John Florence and Kelly Slater met up in the semifinals here in Tahiti.
In my eyes, one of the best events ever, 2014 Tahiti Pro. It pumped the entire time, and look at these waves, and these two surfers put on what a show, matching wave for wave. Kelly came out on top. It came down to the very end. I remember sitting in the channel with both these surfers, waiting on scores. One of the most exciting moments in my career, and I'm sure for these guys' career as well, because that was impressive. The Jedi, young Jedi, up against, what, Yoda? We'll give it to that. And Kelly Slater, and what a matchup that was, and what an exciting Outerknown flashback.
That was great. And Kelly went on to meet up Gabriel Medina in the final that year, 2014. Medina taking out that win here in Tahiti. New heat out in the water. And another great matchup with Jack Robinson coming up against the the wild card, who has been so impressive, Nathan Hedge.
Another one of those, you know, veteran against a youngster. Both of them very accomplished here in Tahiti. I would say that Jack probably not, obviously, came here, but impressed a lot of people. But look at this.
Oh, this happened during the break with Slater.
A bomb, and just such an intense wave. And look at the scores that have been posted. A 9-point ride as he high fives, but look at this thing, or 9.0. As you see, look at this. Underneath, beautifully done by Kelly Slater. Late drop, everything there, in line, and you said it, just as going out there, frothing out of his skin because he wanted to do this exact moment.
11-time world champ, 5-time champ in Tahiti. We get to see the poetry, the terrifying beauty that is Teahupo'o and the approach with Kelly Slater. Under a thick cavern and the spit where he exits.
You see how he used his butt. He tapped it as he was dropping in there just to slow him down ever so slightly to put him in the perfect position. What a ride for Kelly Slater.
And here he goes again. In the barrel, threading through here, and Slater comes out yet again, back to back.
Throwing down the backup quickly. Smart move, competitively savvy, obviously.
Just the connection. I mean, the connection that Kelly has out here is incredible. He has a connection with so many waves on tour. Here we go. Connor O'Leary pumps into this one, drawing down the reef, and Connor O'Leary answers back.
Wow, that was one of those long little point riders that just peels down the reef. Great answer. I mean, it's been quiet. They were in that non-priority heat, and all that action was happening earlier with Griffin and Yago.
What an exchange, starting with Connor O'Leary.
Pumping, pumping, gone from view the entire time. This is going to be a big number here. This is going to match the 9. Not as big a wave, but definitely the length in the barrel, the time behind the curtain is going to execute a big number.
And Slater.
Again, doing the same thing. You see him using the brakes as he drops in. He just bumps his butt, and it slows him down and sets up. Little bump on the face. See, boom, boom. And right through the hole, no worries. That's a pretty good number as well.
Jack Robinson got into the conversation too. Here's a replay, and Romo comes out.
The waves are absolutely firing. These two here did not have priority on that first exchange, so they were battling for position. Jack got the edge by going a little bit deeper, and it paid off in a big way. He's going to get himself a good number.
Here we go. Nathan Hedgie stalling in the barrel, traveling through the tunnel, comes out, and he's going to just do a carve on the open face, yanking the rail as he hits the channel here. So they answer back to Jack Robinson. Jack's opening ride, a 7.67. Here we go. Slater is relentless, back in the barrel again, disappearing from view. Can he exit? And that time, Slater unable to manage an exit.
Okay, in those situations, I think he was in there trying to slow himself down, and there's the, you know, the risk of getting too stalled, too much brake work, and it swallows him up.
So the judges really have to get busy right now with a number of scores owed to us before we can give you the situation. Kelly Slater getting help. He's made it into the lagoon to retrieve his board. And
a stressful moment through that Margaret River where everybody's trying to get their last points before that, and then now we're at Chopo, you know, going through a bunch of other ones to clamber to that final 5. I mean, wow, what a year.
Exactly. I mean, when we look back at the year, the world champ is going to be the surfer that best adapted to every single break and performing on day. Here we go, Connor O'Leary, big, thick, and out. The spray right behind Connor as that wave spits. An 8.58 is what Connor needs to take the lead off of Kelly Slater. I mean, that was a gnarly looking wave, big, thick, and he was able to get in the barrel and out, Peter.
Well, we got a great comparison with there. Kelly Slater's 8.0. I mean, was there enough time behind the curtain? I would say we'll take a look here from the forward angle. Drops in, pumps through it quickly. He was disappeared, but that thing was meaty and angry. Very intense style wave.
Those heat went into the priority heat.
Unbelievable. Did you see how high he got? That was definitely he was like his board was vertical on the face and somehow able to ride over the top of the foam ball and get himself through that one.
The timing of it all as we're transitioning. Oh my goodness, Kelly Slater is in the quarterfinal. We got more action coming here in Tahiti. You don't want to go anywhere. Stick around.
Still feeling like I'm a whole person without needing to win is a really important human